Well, hello there. Let's see if this works. Does this work? Should work somehow. Yep, there it is. All right, so this is a bit of an impromptu thing. What you see on your screen is a private tournament organized by. I think the driving force behind this is uh, yeah, for a given definition of work. The driving force of this tournament is the one, the only Mr. Ali Mortazavi, who kindly sent me an invite. I obviously don't belong if you look at the title alone, but we've been more in touch in the past couple of weeks than we were for the previous, I don't know how many years. So yeah, this is a 3+1 arena, which will start, as you can see on your screen, in 10 minutes. Probably giving me enough time to play something as a warm up and also test the layouts in this way. Um, yeah, rated 3+1, somewhat stronger. I don't know. I don't really care, but let's set it at something and see what happens. Why is Lichess not in dark mode? I wish I knew. I will have a look after this game. So the layout appears to be... Whoa! Dodgy! Dodgy, my boy, how did you snipe me like that? Uh, actual stream sniping right there. Something I did not think was possible. Uh, we are sort of advised to play 5 in these types of positions. It's not strictly speaking necessary, but I think that's what they do. It generally transposes. Like after d6 knight bd2, we now get something that is very, very similar to normal positions. You could make an argument for not playing a5 and playing knight bd2. Whoa, 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 whoa. What you doing there, Dodgy? Are you sure this is wise? No, I don't think Chess24 has any plans to incorporate Lichess, as far as I know. I'm just planning to participate in a friendly tournament and tools, no. Where are the settings for? Somebody tell me how to activate the dark mode, and I will activate the dark mode. I guess he goes. Oh yeah. I mean, I think knight d4 probably was slightly better, but who knows? This doesn't seem like the best ever Marshall type compensation for black. I'm too well developed and haven't really made any weaknesses on the king side either. Background dark. Is this better? It is probably a little bit better, actually, yeah. Whoa! Thanks for the thanks for the fun for the sub, chocolate banana, and actually thanks for the gifted sub to Ulon Kolufid. This is actually, it looks like it might be a bit of a mistake, but in the position Dodgy found himself in, I honestly thought this might be his best option, cheerless as it is. There are currently no channel rewards. I should do something about it. Yeah, we should probably stop that pawn from advancing any further. Like, the one way we could fail to be very, very much in control is to get that bishop stuck on c1 if black gets to play f5, f4. I think. No, Dodgy is good. What do you mean? What do you mean he doesn't know how the pieces move? Of course he knows. Queen f3 now runs into rook e2. I'm kind of looking in general to trade some pieces here, and in particular, getting the queens off the board here would be quite beneficial to me, but we're in no hurry with that. Yeah, I know about the stream settings, but I think it's not possible to adjust those uh, without me becoming partner, or at least this is what people said. I actually went into the OBS settings and uh, attempted to ambush unsuccessful. Um, attempted to lower the settings a little bit, but was not met with universal success. I'm not going to start another one because this now starts in too little time. Yeah, GG is dodgy, but yeah, d5 probably is not the move to play in that position. It's not fresh as such. I have an actual really fresh account I will be using for the charity stream that will happen on Lichess in 2 days' time. But this account I've had for a while. I don't play much, not just on Lichess, but frankly anywhere outside of sort of official banters. So there aren't very many games on it, but it's not. I mean, the account was, I think, created maybe 2 years ago or something like that. Stream quality too high for me. I really don't know how to help you guys. I actually did some research, and I don't think this is something I can. I mean, I can lower the the bitrate, but I'm not sure if that actually helps. Nightboy fighting with Fuchsia. I think that's not how it should. That interaction should be the other way around. Uh, let's. Uh, that's not what I'm looking for. Hang on. Nightbot should probably be slightly more tolerant. Fuchsia. Now that this is done. Yeah, I think you need to be partner and have an average view count higher than mine currently is to actually have a choice of streaming at a different quality. So the quality is what it is right now. Once again, apologies to those who are actually kind of being gatekept by it. But yeah, I did some research, and I'm 3 streams away from applying to partner, for partner, I think, if those three streams come fast enough. So hopefully that happens, and then we can tinker with the settings and all that. I don't think Magnus plays Dota 2. I think you may be slightly mistaken. And Jan these days is a variety streamer. I've seen him stream like Heroes of Might and Magic 5 and some stuff like that. I did lose 2 bullet games to Trent, yes. It was very unfortunate. In one of them, I basically had sort of mate in 3 with checks, and instead of playing Queen f4, f6, which would then result in me giving mate in 3 with checks, I played Queen f4 takes f7, where it was just captured for 1 pawn. And after that, saving the game became a bit difficult. And I was so upset by that the third game I played poorly, honestly. I was still winning, but poorly by my standards. Jan doesn't stream separately from Chess24, Trika said. He only streams on the official channel. So, yeah, this thing is about to kick off. I am planning to use the berserk function quite liberally here, which will probably result in me losing a ton of games and not winning this tournament, but that's the intention anyway. What's this tournament? This is a tournament that Ali Mortazavi is running. I don't know. I have a feeling, judging by the tone of the emails, that this is some kind of a perhaps weekly event. This is the first time I'm playing in it.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
So yeah, there's the
4, 3,
what's the late
2,
yeah, it's,
1,
I don't know.
0.
Not entirely sure. Falling blocks. And we get one of the stronger players in the tournament first up. I don't actually know who that is, but he is clearly good enough to take seriously. Probably not going to do the berserk thing in the very first round. What? Okay, so he didn't show up and we won. That kind of works for me, but also not entirely ideal. Collusion indeed, yeah. Easy win, well played, Peter. Yeah, that's how we do it. So I think maybe Hans Schmidt is David Howell. Probably, judging once again by the chat that you can't see on your screen. If someone actually knows, I'd appreciate some confirmation on this. I should have. Yeah, this probably was a berserkable game. But yeah, I'll remember. I'll remember the next time. This is not. Это не мой турнир, Ленс, поэтому я пароли тут не раздаю. Yeah, I mean, this is what I recommend, so I'll continue playing that. Why not? I think I ended up thinking that Queen c7 is better than Rook c8, although it's all very, very questionable. Да, это не пароль. Одно можем сказать определенно, это не пароль турнира. Yeah, like these positions actually, Thanks for the sub, Pierre Core. I appreciate the support. These positions are, I feel now, a lot more annoying than they seemed to me when I was younger and sort of more optimistic. I probably should at some point actually get myself a serious repertoire against bishop c4 again, because this appears to be a little bit... I mean, I wouldn't say this is incorrect. I'm pretty sure black can still play like this, but it does feel like... Can we take on a2? I think we can take on a2. It does feel like black is taking a little bit too many liberties here. Yeah, black definitely can play for a win here. I mean, that's one of the major reasons why I was always playing the bishop g4, bishop d7 lines. The point of this is to get a position where you might be slightly worse to begin with, but you don't allow any kind of... Here the intention was to do this. There's probably something stronger, but this works. He should have played bishop d4. This obviously gives me a much easier time of it. Yeah, I mean, now I'm so completely winning that the important thing is, as usual with me, not to just completely tune out. This is the biggest danger for me in positions like this, to just kind of stop caring altogether. And then sometimes I make really stupid mistakes and the conversion becomes much harder. But here it really doesn't look as if we should have any problems. Sort of way too in control. Way too in control. Let's do this. No idea who that is, but 1831, I think we should be able to, you know, at least attempt to gain double points for this. It kind of hurts me that I don't know the scene well enough, because I feel like some of these players probably are very reasonable. And that makes, you know, just berserking on the basis of rating alone slightly dangerous. But then again, like, are we here to try hard? No, we're not here to try hard. We're here to attempt to have fun. My rating? Ah, you can't see it. Yeah, let me correct that. That should be better. My rating is not stellar, but I don't actually play, as I mentioned, I don't actually play well, anywhere. Not just on Lichess, but frankly anywhere. This looks like I blundered a piece, but I haven't actually blundered a piece, I think. Knight g5 was also very strong. Maybe this is a bit showing off. I suspect this may have been just showing off a little bit. But it's not a bad move, like it's fine. Okay, now probably I should kind of remind myself that I berserked this thing. And that means I should probably play faster. 40 seconds should still be plenty here, but looking at his 151 and knowing that I'm playing generally at least a little bit faster than he is, I think it's very easy to just assume that the clock is not really important when it still is. Yeah, this is disliking my conversion skills here. None of this was, strictly speaking, necessary. Should steal once again, like 32 seconds in this position. If I don't win this, somehow I will be very, very upset. Yeah, I think most modern players have studied the openings by far the most. Wise Pilgrim, by far the most. At some point, it really becomes very, very difficult to dedicate time to anything else, really, uh, because your opponents are so strong that knowing theory becomes just an overwhelming necessity compared to everything else. When I was a kid, I used to play this really weird system here with castles and f4. It's not great, but it's not unplayable either. So let's see like how it does against grown up opposition. Mm, yeah, this is he's playing it correctly, which is already quite annoying. I don't think this system is geared specifically to be used against good players who have, for some reason, even studied it at some point. I think it's um, I don't think is good enough for that. We're sort of one move away from stabilizing it. Although, like, I was planning to play bishop e3 next, but then now I realize it runs into knight g4, so maybe this is not the brightest idea in the world. It might still be playable, though, under certain circumstances. We'll see. There is only one cat. Yeah, I very much envy you your golden Billy, Seville. Golden Billy is king. This is a good move. Yeah, and this basically is why I think this system is not really advisable against decent players. You just end up having to deal with strange situations, which you don't entirely enjoy. I should have compensation after knight takes d4 bishop e3 though, so I'm not actually blundering a pawn here. I just don't like my position regardless. Yeah, I wasn't sure he could do that. Honestly, this felt like this might just lose for him. Because now just protecting this knight is incredibly difficult. I threaten bishop d4, bishop h7. Bishop c5 runs into b4, and yeah, this might be trouble. It looks like, as I mentioned, like it looks, in particular, my tank before 95 could have been perhaps like a hint to my opponent that I lost control. But I did calculate this one variation, so not so much. And if he goes king h8, which currently I think maybe is the only move that doesn't lose on the spot, I think maybe even bishop to almost any square, like bishop c2 or bishop e2 or knight f3, probably just picks up that knight on d4. So as far as I can see, there's actually no way to save that knight. Yeah, and here it just gets dropped. You can't defend it anymore. Thanks for the follows, guys. I mean, taking with anything here is fine. Let's take with the queen. I don't want to give up on g3 if I don't have to. Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm obviously winning regardless, but There's absolutely no reason to give my opponent more material if I don't have to. Is Bay here? Hi, Bay. Bishop b5 is a bit of an annoying idea, I don't know. But also, like, we are not berserking here, and I have 2 minutes against 28 seconds, so I have some leeway here. Once again, might look like a blunder, but isn't. Yeah, there's a great amount of zincs, but I made it about as low in terms of volume as I could. So I think we should be okay. Chesbay, thanks for the sub. Welcome here. Hope you like it here.
Oh, blimey!
Yeah, we're not berserking against Mr. Story. He knows too much weird theory for me to attempt that. Yeah, and this is an example. Like, I mean, this is not the most principled reply, but it should still be fine, I think. I think this is supposed to be fine, as far as I know. It's a bit of a cop out, because obviously white will have ways to simplify and be completely fine with pretty much no risk. But there's not really a ton we can do about that. And now he just goes bishop b2 castles. Yeah, but I don't quite understand why he would choose bishop d3. It gives me additional options. This provokes g3, which is not a horrible move, but I think it's a bit of an achievement for me to get this in. Potentially. Maybe throw this one in as well. Ask him to go rook b1, then maybe we go a5. Because I obviously, like, I'm not intending to give up the a-pawn very easily. This is now very comfortable for me. I'm probably still not better, but it's clearly sort of at the very least slightly more comfortable for black. h6 is a bit of a nondescript move, though. I mean, probably I should have done something more energetic. But with the bishop on h3, like, I'm not worried. I'm never worse here. It's just that I feel like maybe I'm not making the most of my position here. Queen d3, I probably shouldn't have allowed. Yeah, I'm not making too much sense here currently. Although maybe this was a cunning trap. It was a cunning plan, my lord. We lured him to play queen d3, and now we're picking up this exchange on b1, so perhaps I was selling myself slightly short. It was a cunning plan, my lord. And now he needs to go for this endgame, which will actually kind of require some technique from me, but it should be manageable. It should be manageable because we do eventually make a lot of progress along the c file. That never happened before. Indeed, it hasn't. It's an absolutely new occurrence in the history of occurrences. Entirely unprecedented. Just don't blunder bishop d3 check somewhere, Peter. Be a darling. Winning by pinning indeed. This will run for 2 hours, so you've got me for 2 hours for with this stream, and then I might um um I've had a longish night last night, and I'm definitely not streaming for very long, but I might stream some puzzles or maybe some Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire probably being the favorite. I don't play very many chess variants, no.
Oh, blimey.
Thanks for the sub, Ionis. I've deranked so much Vice Pilgrim that I'm kind of...
Blimey.
And Jen, whoa. Hello, Jen. Hello, Jen. Welcome here. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to play against this. Mr. Garmali is a bit of a scary proposition. Let's try to mix it. Yeah, but who am I kidding? I'm not going to be able to, you know, create any mixing that hasn't been done before in the Londons. The Londons are way too well researched by people who have actually researched them. Why the obsession with the Karamazov brothers? I just get this question like 5 times every stream. I don't entirely understand why people are so obsessed with the question of whether I read the Karamazov brothers. This is probably not good, but I'm like, the rest is even less appealing. Whoa. That is not the reply I expected to see. I'll be honest with you. If I take on e5, he probably takes on e4 with the bishop first. Because otherwise that move makes like absolutely zero sense. Let's just like pretend that I don't understand the point and proceed accordingly. I think he just goes queen d2, and that is perfectly fine somehow, because the bishop on f5 is stupid. The usual problem with these positions, and the problem we have here as well, is my pawn on d5 is not weak as such. Thanks very much for the sub, passed pawn. It's not weak as such, but it's kind of slightly shaky. And I would like to play e6, but then my bishop on f5 is stranded. That's an interesting restructuring by Danny. I don't mind it, actually. I think it's quite clever. I was wondering what the idea of g4 was. And now he probably goes bishop g3, knight f4. I actually quite like this. Rook takes e6 I have seen, but I'm not sure it's great in this particular setup. Maybe it is. I wasn't that worried. Like I was reasonably happy to allow this, to be honest, because it gives me like definite things to play against. But maybe it's not as bad as all that, because he does have g5, bishop g4, and also I should speed up. The usual complaint. Let's just go knight d8. I mean, it's a miserable move to make, but I think it's kind of required, because we need to start generating our own play. And in order to do that, we need to make sure that we're not getting just mated on the e6 square. C2 pawn is not that important. What is important is sort of asking him enough questions that he gets distracted. And here, I am very much hoping this doesn't lose, because I think this pawn is a lot more important than the c2 pawn, because it gives me at least the hope of winning the pawn on d4 in the reasonably near future. If I missed any subs, I apologize. I don't think I have, but if I have, I apologize. That's probably not the greatest move in the world, actually, but because I'm very worried I will at some point blunder some bishop takes d5, which will result in mate. I need to be very, very careful about bishop takes d5 ideas. If he just means the rook endgame I don't mind. The rook endgame I am, I think, fine with. Actually, why am I so fine with the rook ending? It's probably just a draw, actually. Yeah, this is a bit annoying. This is a little bit annoying. He still needs to be, I think, maybe a little bit careful here. Because my king is a lot more active, and the d-pawn will start running quite soon. So like if anyone is better here, it's quite clearly black. Probably the answer is, of course, that nobody is better here. That's a whole other point, but yeah, I didn't play that correctly. But I don't think he has time. Like, this surprises me a little bit, because he might not have time for this. Or maybe he does, who knows. Yeah, actually he does. Yeah, rook a5 is also an absolutely idiotic idea. But not because of this, though. Some distinct lack of sense of danger here, kind of letting my opponent down. Just h6, rook h5, and then check, 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 and so on was, I think, still a draw. So we're doing okay so far. I also somehow played 6 games to 4 of my nearest competitor. Could you maybe turn the coordinates on the board without? Yeah, let me. Oh, thank you for the sub, Charlie. Board geometry, no. Board theme, no. Preferences, maybe. Piece animation, board highlights, board coordinates. Let's go with this and save and go back there. I don't think I'm in the game yet. I don't think I missed the game. That would be unfortunate. I don't know how readable this is, though. Maybe outside is better. Well, I'll maybe tell me if this is enough, because they seem small. Okay, so that is David, yeah. That makes sense. What am I supposed to do here? Yeah, that's a very, very sharp approach, and probably quite strong. Normally black is doing very, very well when he gets positions like this in the Caro. Thanks for the sub, Bill Brock. Probably bishop g4 is the move that... No, but then I have h3. Maybe I'm not doing that badly. It feels a bit... That's a good move. I like this. But I can probably deal with this by including cd first. Why did I do that? That's a bit stupid. That structure change actually favors black a great deal normally. Oof, not really liking my position here at all. I do have this option though. Maybe this is not bad. Because of the pin. I didn't see it when I was playing c takes d5, so that's a bit of a lucky break. And I'm not suggesting that my position is better now or anything like that. But at least I managed to create some actual prospects that you can play towards here. And Dodgy, you will pay for this. Welcome CP Coutert and chill. Well, he did pay for it. Exactly. That's a very good point. Very good point, Dukis. Bishop g5 on the previous move was arguably winning, which I missed. Well, arguably is maybe a very stupid way to describe it. It was either winning or it wasn't, and I think it was. Yeah, bishop g5 there was... Yeah, that's a bit annoying that I didn't even consider it. I still have a reasonable-ish position, but... I think I can actually afford to do this and invite him to pick up the pawn on b2, because I think I get a lot of play for it on the other side of the board. Or do I? Maybe I don't. Maybe that was just a mistake. Yeah, I have a feeling it was just a mistake. He can take because bishop f6 stabilizes quite well. So I did manage to bluff him at least, which is obviously good. Fiona is here. Fiona is here is good news. Hi, Fiona. Yeah, and the thing here is that my king is a lot safer, but the pawn on d4 is a problem. So I think those two things probably come out as being a bit around equal, and the position is okay. It's my move. I should have realized that. that was a bit careless. I burned God knows how many seconds on that conversation. Thanks for the sub, Lucas. Yeah, I don't know about this structure change, to be honest, but okay. Thank you, and I will try doing that. Hang on. Yeah, this structure change is whoa, very surprising. David did not play g5 there. I think he probably should have. I think stopping f4 is a lot more important than, you know, the perceived weakness of the black king that you can generate by playing g5 in that position. That's a good move, though. That is a good move. Not sure how I'm supposed to react to it. This is now very sharp. I mean, like, I almost always have the bailout of taking the knight. I think pretty much in every single situation the bailout will be available to me if I want it. But if I yeah, and for instance here already, like this is just probably a draw if he goes knight d4 takes f5, but it also takes some courage to do that as black. Maybe not. Maybe it's just completely fine. Maybe I'm okay. Yeah, this is probably just a draw now. I don't think I can make any progress. Okay, let me adjust the stream title. And thanks for the advice, Fiona. I'm new to this thing. Ah, somebody has actually done this for me. I appreciate it. I missed it. Thanks for that. Have I missed any other significant events? If I missed any subs, apologies. I'm trying to be at least a little bit concentrated on the games. I need to make a streamer profile on Lichess. I am, I'm not like entirely 100% affiliated, but I'm not entirely unaffiliated either. So, how much disrespect we want to show to Spes? Probably not very much. I was kind of wondering about, well, okay, that's a problem because I always get incredibly bad positions against this line. Like really, really bad. I need at some point to learn how to respond to this. I think my last god knows how many games against bishop c4 periods have all ended in me being semi-lost by move 10. Which is kind of not where you want to be against a good opponent. Now he goes e6 and I have like a very, very difficult choice. Like I'm just trying to mix it up here, but I'm pretty sure that objectively this is beyond horrible for black. Now at least I have a threat of knight d4, which he needs to pay attention to. And that might win me a very important tempo, and maybe I will survive. The usual tactic here that knight d4 distracts the knight from f3. So yeah, if he has to play c3 here, which I kind of suspected he might, it gives me time to do things like that, for instance. And now the pawn on e6 is probably much more of a weakness than a strength. Bishop takes e5 also probably is playable. Or knight takes e5 even, but let's get the endgame. The endgame appears to be very good for me. I can include a5, I can go knight d3 straight away. Let's do this. Actually, now that I look at it, why was I so certain the endgame here is so glorious for me? I don't know. I mean, it's not bad, don't get me wrong, but it's nowhere near as good as I for some reason assumed it will be. I think I need to lock in the option of going knight c5, and then I can proceed accordingly. Yeah, I missed bishop f4. Bishop f4 is a good move. I'm not playing this very well, is what I would like to say on the topic. I'm really not playing this very well. I'm fairly sure that after queen d6 c3 I was doing a lot better than I am doing right now. I think I need to include this now, and the rook probably goes here. We are sort of 2 moves away from being okay-ish. Maybe not. I was going to say I want to play b6 and then bishop b7, but b6 actually runs into bishop takes b6, which will be a problem. Yeah, Jonathan is a wonderful guy. He also streams. If somebody has a link to Jonathan's stream, put it in chat. He's a very, very nice guy. One of the people who, a rare breed of people who are actual Westerners who speak very good Russian, and just an all-round nice guy. I'm kind of stuck here. I'm not making any progress whatsoever on my game plan. I don't know what my game plan even is here, if I'm entirely honest. And now king e2 followed by c4 might actually pick that rook up, which is not something I would enjoy. Do I actually have to play b5 here? That was not a very well played game, middle game here, I want to say. Let's go rook d5, c4, rook d3. And maybe we are, like in some beautiful, beautiful world, maybe we are pretending that we want to play c5, but we aren't really. I think mainly I want to play king g7, maybe g5, g4. And also by putting the rook here, I am making it a bit more difficult for him to attack mine. Lawrence's Russian is not great, but like he speaks a little bit of it. And here I'm taking this opportunity to sacrifice a pawn, but kind of break out of the cage. I think maybe it was a little bit hasty. I don't know if I absolutely needed to do that, to be honest, now that I look at this position, but I just wanted to give my pieces, you know, some semblance of play. This is kind of unpleasant, but shouldn't be all that horrible. I thought, but maybe I'm wrong. Because I'm not sure I can actually simplify into that pawn ending if I take on e6. Might be lost. It might be lost. I don't know about this move either, but it feels like h5 probably. Yeah, he should have played h5 here. And I think now I can probably actually do that, but I don't need to anymore. I think I have enough counterplay with this to not ever need that other line. And now, I mean, this being a blitz game, I suspect I will now win it, which will feel very unfair to Jonathan, but such is life. Yeah, he completely outplayed me there. I should not have been. I think my score against Michael Hennigan is 0-1. And he actually played this opening against me when we played in Oakham in '92, I think. Yeah, I should study some theory, and like it's not just the next three moves, if we are entirely honest. You should have a clearer idea than I do about what goes where in this line. Yeah, Michael Hennigan is a yeah, I don't know. This is probably not the way to do this, but I mean, once again, we are not here to try hard. I was planning to go knight g2, but he actually creates a lot of pressure against the e4 pawn there, so let's go d5. And I guess queen c2. And then probably, as long as we don't blunder anything, like the plan is to go knight e2, knight g3, then maybe g5, h4. Stabilize and proceed from there. For actual knowledge of these King's Indians, you should study Tomaszewski's games and not mine, obviously. My games are... First of all, I don't have any games in this line, and secondly, even if I did, they would be kinda crap. I don't really know what I'm doing. I have a feeling this was not the correct way to react, but in particular, like I thought that even if this is not great for me, at the very least I don't have a pawn on h4 where it would just get picked up. So this should be at least an improvement compared to me playing h4 in this position. My problem here is that I think my position is quite stable, but I have no idea what I want. I have no idea, for instance, in particular, where this knight that is currently on e2 is supposed to be. Maybe I can play f4. Maybe the pieces are positioned in such a way that I can actually afford to play f4. Because that at least gives my pieces some breathing space, but knight d7 worries me. Knight d7 I would need to have a good reply to, because otherwise he gets perfect control over the e5 square, and we really, really don't want that. That would be a very bad thing if that happened. But I have a feeling we are actually not doing all that horribly here. I also blundered bishop h6, as I now realize. But it's not a huge deal, because I can just play king b1 and he cannot take. If he does this, I do this. And if he takes, I have the pin. This I thought just wasn't very good. Ah, knight g5, queen f3. Clever. Clever. But I do have queen e2. I'm not actually losing material here. And in order to win some material back, I think he might have to take on c3, but then he probably gets mated on the dark squares. So I should be doing quite well here. Yeah, I might play some of that, because it's not unimaginable that I do. Yeah, that is the correct way to go, I think, because really black doesn't really have much else. But normally it ends up with black getting somehow mated, because whoa, that I did not consider at all. That is not a move I considered. There's a number of things I can try here. But bishop takes h3 is a smart move by my opponent. I like it. This is a little bit of a cop-out, but it does give me a very pleasant position. So I'm doing this simply because this is, after all, a blitz game, and I need to be practical. I need to time manage, and I don't have to play perfectly. Obviously, if the knight was already on d7, this would have been a very unclear endgame. But with the knight on c5, this pawn actually, I think, gets to e6. And if it gets to e6, the black position kind of collapses in on itself. Yeah, people using berserks properly will be a problem. Apparently, Ginger is now fully caught up with us. But doing this while streaming, I also want to pay some attention to chat, and I think I played Jochen Helston in one of the Occam tournaments. I am in Isiek. Yeah, Ginger is very close, and Howell is also not the end. We're playing Howell again. Let's not play the Caro again. Let's play something else. Getting like favorable RNG here color-wise. I don't know why I played this. This is not all that good. But now we've kind of locked this in. Can't really do much about it. Yeah. Am I just losing here or something? That would be unfortunate. Probably not losing though. Probably still semi-fine. Like black has a very comfortable endgame, but I don't think we are struggling. c5, knight e7, knight c6, but we do get our own moves in, and I think he should have played c5 earlier, and also I think I should have played c5 earlier. So I think if he gives me the option, I am definitely... Actually, this is quite clever. With the king on e3, this is actually a lot more annoying than I thought. I'm a bit worried that bishop might just get stuck there. But probably not if I do it this way. And this actually now becomes quite sharp, because knight d5, knight b4 is probably very strong though. Knight d5, knight b4 gives him an advantage here. Yep. I'm very surprised by bishop f5 though. I think he could have just taken on a2. I think taking on a2 was a lot stronger. Knight d3 check I missed. I'm back to being worse after knight d3 check. But I sort of disagree with this approach. I mean, he's fine. Don't get me wrong, I'm not fighting for advantage here or anything like that. But I think he could have gotten more. That is very strong though. I missed that altogether. That is... I take all of it back. I might be lost here. That kind of gone off the rails very, very quickly. Knight d4 probably wins, although... Yeah, that was a poor game by me. Shouldn't have gone c4, b6, c4. There's all kinds of ways to have a kind of a... to limit your exposure there, not commit too much to anything. And here, I mean, we're obviously doing horribly, but maybe there are some chances to save this. Our king is at least marginally slightly more active than his, and in particular if one pair of rooks come off, yeah, like some position like this. I think I think he's doing the right thing by completely ignoring, I've not done this properly. I have not done this properly. Yeah, let's just start a new one. That was not well played. It was well played by him though. We don't need to continue with this. Yeah, thanks T-Mode. But the thing about Blitz with no increment, it's the kind of thing where you really are supposed to say, look at the cross table. You know, me having crushed him on the board doesn't really count for more than half a point if you don't actually win the game. So I don't actually teach Jirdna, sorry. I never taught, and you know, it might be in my future, but it definitely isn't something I do right now. King's Gambit might even be playable at GM level if you prepare well enough and you aren't facing... The thing about the King's Gambit is that it's probably unsound, but also it's only unsound if black actually took some time to study why. And not a lot of people have taken the time to study why. So I think you can play. I mean, Alex Fedorov, the Belarusian player I grew up with, he's played the King's Gambit basically his entire life. He kind of stopped at some point when he was maybe 35 and started playing in the stronger tournaments, but played it more or less his entire life until then, with decent results, and he was playing very, very strong opposition. How big is the step from being a second to teaching? I think, like, it's a leap of faith. It's the two are almost unrelated, I would say, because when you're seconding, you are in general, helping somebody who is very close to your level, understands chess kind of intimately, and what you're doing is helping him fine-tune the foundations, which are already very much there. And it becomes more about, inspiring him to. What am I supposed to do here? Like, there's a reason why rook b1 isn't the main move in this position, but can't really be bothered to figure it out. Clearly, it's not this. Like, this already has compromised my position quite a bit. The thing is, it's still the English, and it's still not going to be horrible for black, but yeah, I've not played this in any way correctly. Kind of annoyed with myself. And I mean, you get where I'm going with this, right? But teaching in general will be very, very different to that, in that you have to explain concepts to people which they might not be aware of at all. And that's a very, very different thing. Yeah, I'm not actually giving away passwords for this thing, because I don't entirely understand the protocols, but this is a tournament that wasn't created by me, and I don't feel like it is in my purview to give out passwords for it. B5 is a lot more annoying here than I originally thought. Yeah, this is not great. I wanted to go rook a5, but I have a feeling I might be. Can I play b6 here? I think maybe I can bluff my way to play b6. Into playing b6, I mean, because if he just has to go and I can play c5, then my position obviously improves tremendously. It's not like, I don't know if you can call it influence, Fuchsia. Vadim is a friend. We absolutely grew up together, and I mean, here the thing is, knight takes c7 is probably winning, but I feel like queen d6 is maybe aiming. But let's not. If I take on c7, I take on a8, maybe the c5 pawn falls. I don't want that. I do not want that. I kind of want the most out of this, because we are suddenly, I assume, just winning. So we should be trying to absolutely maximize our advantage here. I think I played knight a3 in a blitz game once. I think everybody did. I think knight a3 was such an eye-opener, Nick, that for shits and giggles, most people played it at least once. But Vadim he and Vasily Yemelin, who is still probably the closest chess friend I have in St. Petersburg, at least. They were the two biggest rivals in my age group that I had growing up, and fighting against them was, sort of very much how I spent my early years. It is actually it's a non-anonymous account, Smash. It actually says Peter Svidler. So It's not the only account I have, but it is, I think, the only one that says Peter Svidler on it. There's also an account named Peter underscore Svidler, which I will be using for the charity thing. I might be getting kind of rolled here after e5. I don't like what I've done. Or this. But this kind of worries me less, because I think in general in Peart's types of positions, this is less of an issue. Although here it might still be quite a serious one. Knight h5 is kind of semi-playable. Knight d5 is semi-playable. I don't know which one I prefer. Let's go with the central one. Just sort of on general principles, playing in the center is preferable to not playing in the center. I understand it sounds stupid, but it kind of holds true. We need to make sure we don't lose the d-pawn to something like queen d2. Exactly, this is something I actually somewhat underestimated when I was preparing to play this. It's a bit more annoying than I originally thought. Now I have to decide if he goes, let's say, lone castles. Do we castle or do we play rook d8? Both are not entirely stupid. We probably just castle, I think. I think that's probably the way to go. Kind of a really weird situation in which in appears both players have somehow castled queenside. Oh, thank you for the bits, push the pawns. And if I get bishop e7 in next move, I will be definitely better. If he gets... I think he is kind of supposed, actually, to go queen f6 here. Otherwise, this starts happening. He starts kind of getting pushed off the board. I actually wanted to ask you guys for emote ideas, so I appreciate that, Hari Shiva. I apparently have like 5 emote slots and no emotes, which is not ideal. Thanks for the sub, Einswai. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Send it to whoever is in the channel right now. He probably goes knight f3 here, or knight d3 even, yeah. That's kind of unfortunate because I need to start paying attention again. I was kind of tuned out for a bit there. But my bishops are so strong that they should normally carry me in a position like this. You would assume. Those are some really, really monstrous bishops. Knight takes d4. I thought that wasn't possible. I thought that wasn't possible. Yeah, mildly unhappy or resignable are good ideas. Yeah, I welcome each and every idea because I famously have no imagination for these things, and yeah. So David and Ginger are on our heels, and nobody else really appears to be in the running. Lawrence did not show up, even though he was very definitely invited. This is a little bit annoying because, I used to know a little bit of something about that line, but I no longer remember a single thing. I think I even played this with black once, I want to say. Why did I blunder the c3 pawn here? I was planning to play queen d2. This is not what I was intending on this move. I promise you that. I have a little bit of a trick though. Like if he takes on c3, I think I can play a5. I think this might be not entirely stupid. Ah, bishop f5 though. Crap. Yeah, no, it is very, very stupid. It is like a remarkably stupid idea then. This is probably just lost now. Yeah, this is what happens when you play things you aren't entirely sure of. This might give me a bit of a bailout. I'm surprised he did this. Like, he's still better, but I'm very, very surprised I'm, you know, alive to such a degree. And by such a degree, I don't mean very alive. I'm not, you know, very alive here, but I'm somewhat alive. Yeah, this is not how chess works. Emote has to happen, I agree. I definitely agree. Yeah, and this is, I mean, sort of the most I could have hoped for in that position. Which is, you know, a very miserable state of affairs, obviously. But as I mentioned, there is still a game going on because I managed to, like, I'm only one pawn down, which already is, I think, a huge improvement compared to where we could have been out of the opening there. And we do have genuine counterplay in some cases. Like this endgame, for instance, I feel is probably not even that bad. Like, I mean, obviously we are worse, but I don't know if we're losing. Yeah, that's a lot more than I deserved in this game. Are we actually playing this or what? Is he attempting to flag me or something? Like, I did offer a draw. Weird. Yeah, it's thanks for that, Harishiva. The variation on the Shimote is welcome. I don't know. It's not entirely my brand though. I got 10 gift subs. That's woo. Have I? And also, how did I miss that? Thanks very much, Ulon Kufid. Yeah, that's I should remember how to pronounce that. Ulon Kalufid. Yeah, that probably is the better way to do that. Thanks very much, and I apologize for missing that at the time. Yeah, what are we supposed to do here? I don't know why I keep on doing this to myself. I assume this is Joe Gallagher, right? Probably is. And against Joe, I think this is a little bit too frisky. A little bit too frisky, but it's not horrible. Like it's a Sicilian by this point. I didn't think this was a good move, and I even had some kind of a reasoning for that. Maybe that reasoning was invalid, but we'll see. Yeah, that reasoning is completely invalid, because if he goes bishop b4, I thought I could go knight takes c5, either immediately or after takes. I missed queen c3. I am now in a great deal of trouble if he goes bishop b4. I might be lost, for all we know, because of that queen c3 move. Yeah, the thing is, I can't even do anything about it because g4 is a threat. Yeah, I should have spent some more time considering. This is now a very, very large problem. Whoa, 1000 bits. Thank you very much, Push the Pawns. Yeah, this is now a very severe problem for us. Because I thought I take, he takes, I thought I take on e5, and that is a central pawn we very badly want to win, but there's queen c3 in the end there. Oof. And also I put my knight on a square where, the g4 threats will be very, very significant. What? Ah, okay. I've gone completely crazy. Okay, going completely mad is also an option, of course. I thought he has to go queen c3, I go f6, and we play a very bad position, but this just plunders a piece. Yeah, going completely insane is also, of course, something that happens occasionally. After e5, I don't know how to go back to that game, but after e5, I had like a number of very decent options. Thanks for the Prime Minimax. I appreciate the support. No, I think exchanging the dark square bishop is not a problem there. I think our position remains fine. It's not about that. It's about the fact that I provoked e5 based on a very, very inaccurate calculation, which kind of backfired in every single way. The dark square bishop, on its own, the trade of the bishop on g7 doesn't hurt black nearly as much as you would think. And M Zinger gifting 10 subs. Thank you very much, M Zinger. You guys are true legends. And welcome to the channel to PG Bull Talk, Dr. Evil, S. Rabellier, John Belton, Digital Chaos, Morel. Thank you, 717, Real GMO, Casper VLD, and Raygon QC. Welcome, everybody. Also, where's my overlay? This is very annoying. Where's my overlay? There should be an overlay. Maybe it should go there. What? Okay. Yeah. That looks horrible, but at least there is... I was very proud when I found that overlay, so it should be there. Bishop g4. I haven't seen this in a while. I don't think it's great in general. Thanks for the sub, Ucleus. Yeah, like this exists, but I find it extremely difficult to believe it's any good for black. for like any number of reasons. C4 looks promising, knight takes c5 looks promising. Like I think pretty much any move I could make here, I would start off by thinking I'm better. Let's do this. 100% professional overlay. It's mainly to do with the fact that it is a built-in stream elements overlay. Now the trick is not to blunder the e5 pawn somehow, because he goes knight e7, knight g6, and the e pawn comes under sustained pressure. So there is a very, very important task at hand here for us, not to blunder the e5 pawn. He probably should play knight b4 here, because I think, like, if we stabilize... I'm also surprised it's not knight g6 and knight c6, but in particular, having played knight c6, I think it would make... Whoa, that's a very unexpected move from John. I don't know if he should be giving me... well, I blundered bishop d4. But yeah, now we get a kind of a typical position, which I think isn't equal even if the rook is on f8. And when the rook is on h8, it should be like nowhere near equal normally. Knight d4 is actually surprisingly a threat here. I was planning to go rook a d1, and then I realized knight d4 wins a pawn, which is not something we would like to have to happen here. We can go c4 here, but maybe it's a little bit early. Let's just go c3. Yeah, this is like Karek and Firouzja, only the light square bishop is still alive. And this is a very, very typical Karo situation, but hang on, I need to... He wants to play bishop g5, and we probably should not be letting him, I think. I think these bishops need to stay on for at least some while yet. And he has the option of playing d4, but these endgames aren't okay. If I take, he goes g5. John is being the... that's actually quite clever by John. So let's start opening things up in the center. As usual, like the prescribed way of dealing with these things is if your opponent is doing something on the queen side, and in particular because there's this rook on h8. We should be trying to open the position up as much as possible, because then the fact that we are fully developed and we have rooks on the central files and so on matters a great deal more. Queen g5 I think would be a decent idea in general, but that endgame looks dangerous to him after I take on d5 and go. Yeah, I think like this is a principled decision, but I don't think it's great for black here. Could be playable though. Yeah, the thing is, kind of regrettably, these positions are a lot more difficult to convert into a full point than they look originally. But I mean, I can definitely ask some questions here. It's not going to be... That's a strange decision. I think that was just John blundering like the entire house on the king side here. And that basically finishes the game suddenly, because he just made a horrible blunder. But we are now a full 3 points behind David, so that's a problem. Ginger lost 4 in a row somehow. How did that happen? But David is crushing it, and David actually somehow got opponents he thought he could give 1.5 against 3, and won 3 games in a row like that. So yeah, we might have to... We still have 40 minutes. No, I'm not doing this against this player. This is a good player. This is a good player, and it would be a mistake. Also, what I'm doing is not particularly great, but this we care a lot less about, obviously. Maybe we should have cared a bit more, because my position now is very sucky. And that's a very technical term you will see a lot on, and hear a lot on this stream. Yeah, now he goes before. I couldn't find a good way to stop him from going before, and now I'm going to be very, very unhappy with my situation because I just don't have a good reply to it. Queen b5 followed by b6, but that's just horrible. This is just a horrible, horrible position. Once again, probably just playing some kind of a symmetrical Grunfeld was a much saner option in the opening, but like, sanity, what is that? That's a good move. I should probably stop blitzing for a sec. I mean, not blitzing, but like I should take a pause here to figure it out, because this might be a bit of a turning point. If I find a good reply to this, I might be okay. If I don't, I definitely will not be okay. Is knight ec4 playable? I mean, it's a good bluff, so let's go for it. This is a private event called the UK 3-minute Blitz, I think, run by, I have a feeling, specifically Ali Mortazavi, who is a very cool dude. Yeah, this I wasn't that worried about. It felt to me like this is clever, though. Maybe this is a lot more clever than I originally thought. Yeah, because I got to this position in my head, but via a different move order, and I wasn't very happy. And this move order also makes a ton of sense. I would be a lot happier with the king on g8, because then rook c7 wouldn't run into knight e6 check. This is bad, because my plan was to go knight b7, knight b3. I knew this wasn't a good move. And then I made it anyway. Like, rook b8 is better. Like, knight ac4 is better. Pretty much anything is better than what I just did. This is now sort of panic stations, obviously. Very, very poor rook ending, which you normally don't save. But I don't have a better choice anymore. I don't have a better choice anymore. This is probably a draw, I assume. But it's a draw that still needs to be made. Am I playing viewers? Not on this stream, no.
Blimey.
I am not playing viewers on this stream. And thanks for the sub, Toka Pro. Yeah, this is like a typical way to try and make draws in these types of positions. Uh, yeah, and now we really aren't struggling anymore, I think. Are we? That would be a bit annoying if we still are. But I don't think we are. We might get flagged though, obviously. Well, not anymore. Yeah, that was an important save, but we're also now the full 10 points behind David, and I think I might actually have to start playing Berserks in every game. What's my opinion on Agad? Agad is one of the foremost promoters of chess for you know a very wide audience. Um, like what I do and what he does are two very different things, and uh, I don't think I am his target audience, for instance, but he does a lot of good for chess. I don't think this can be doubted. Anyone who does, collect the amount of views with specifically chess programming as he does is quite obviously doing a lot of good for chess. Yeah, we need to start doing things here. This might kind of cost me the tournament, but it's really not that important. I mean, by cost me the tournament, I mean we might not win the tournament. But yeah, I mean that is not really a hugely important part of today's proceedings. If David wins, David wins. Yeah, I've misplayed this kind of horribly. I mean, it's still probably a winning position, but like, why is this? Like, how did we end up in a position where black has actual counterplay? Jeez Louise. That's beyond disgusting. Also, apparently it has been my move all this time, and I did not make a move. That was quite smart by me to just think there for 30 seconds. I don't somehow like the notification that it's my move is somehow not loud enough. I really think it should be louder. Because it's not the first time I missed it during today's stream, and it's kind of inexcusable. Not having auto queen. Yeah, not having auto queen is probably not optimal, but I'm not gonna go into the settings right now. It's too much of a hassle. Yeah. Whoa. Okay, that's something I shouldn't have done, because that guy completely outplayed me in the first game. Like I'm giving half-time odds to somebody who is, based on the evidence of the one game we already played in this tournament, just better than me. So yeah, we are running risks here. We are most assuredly running some risks here. Queen h4 is very strong here. Just very, very strong. Whoa! And that's a misclick. That's just an out-and-out misclick, which does not make our position better. Let's put it like this. Yeah. Takes. Yeah, I think maybe the idea of chasing Howl has to be abandoned here. Rook takes c8 also wins. I mean, other moves were winning as well. Yeah, blundering the pawn on e7 in that position, that was a playable position, but blundering a pawn on e7 doesn't do you any favors. Yeah, I mean, I understand, but like it feels like I've locked in the second, and it also feels like I have no shot for first here. So maybe just abandon the whole berserk thing, and maybe pay more attention to chat is the way to go here. And not play any more. I actually didn't play the Pirates against him in game one. That is actually, I've managed to do it in such an order, so I have no time to play h3, and I have no time to play bishop e3 because of knight g4. So I start off giving like a, black is already slightly better here after knight d4, of course. Very surprising that he declines that. He should not be declining that invitation in that position. Why is there no link to the stream on Lichess? Probably because I did not really announce that I will be streaming, and they're just unaware. This tournament is some kind of a semi-private UK-based invitational in which many but not all of the UK players are playing. Mickey's not playing, Lawrence is not playing, so obviously the tournament is completely legitimate. If there's no Lawrence in it, who cares? and Spielman is playing, Garmali is playing, as you can see. But it is, very, very fittingly for my participation. It is seemingly a tournament for old timers, with some of the younger bloods included. Moose is, if you've seen my Hearthstone streams, you know that I like. Actually, let's just. My original intention was to take on h6 in this position, so let's just stick with that. It's not a bad move. Knight f3, he probably has to take on c3, but then he gets knight e4 in and becomes a bit messy. In this position, it looks like it might be fine for black, but actually I think I get a lot of... This is just such a horrible, typical King's Indian knight. It should have been on d4 and move 8. Yeah, Gwaine not playing. What am I supposed to mind? I missed something I suspect I would have been interested in. I probably shouldn't have forced him to play f4, because f4 is a good move. I thought it's just weakening and I can play knight e4, but actually this is a good move and I should have played queen d4 or something. This is stupid. This is kind of silly by me. So yeah, the moose thing. I'm a huge fan. Is this thing... This used to be a command. No? I'll make it a command at some point. So yeah, I'm a huge Fawlty Towers fan, and yeah, I do have mods, but I like to live dangerously and, create commands while also playing 3-minute blitz games. What the? Yeah, that was not great. That was not supposed to happen, people. That was not supposed to happen, I'll tell you that for free. That was like a remarkably stupid sequence of events, which I am very unhappy about. Okay. I don't mind that at all. That's a pawn. And it also gives me the G file to base my operations on. And also we will probably win on time. None of this feels kind of remotely deserved, but yeah, who cares? I was completely winning before that, so I'll take it. So yeah, I really like that clip, and that entire episode is a favorite of mine. And because of that, my nick on Battle.net is Naughty Moose, and Thanks for the bits. Push the pawns. And the 959 is the reference to Fisher Random, because I think I originally selected created this account to what? That's not a thing, right? For some reason. Why is that not a thing? Maybe because of this? Who knows? I created this account, I think, to play some training games for Fisher Random when I was first invited to St. Louis to those Fisher Random events. So it's in reference to the Chess 960 -1, because arguably it's not 960, it's 959, because one of those 960 positions is the quote-unquote normal position. Knight b5 is annoying, but maybe I can survive somehow. I kind of like playing the normal position in 960, yeah. Don't we all? Don't we all, Smash? It's the best thing ever. The best of both worlds, or however many worlds that is. Yeah, we did not equalize here, but we are also not lost by any means. Like, this is semi-playable. Rook bc8. In particular, if I get to fight for the c file here, I'm probably completely fine. And yeah, I mean, there is a certain kind of calmness that that occurs when you no longer fight for completely unattainable. Whoa, what did I just do? Holy cow. That is quite spectacularly stupid what I've just done. There is like no world where you're supposed to give up the C file like that. It's beyond insane to do that. Just beyond insane. None of this fills me with particular, you know, sense of heightened expectation in terms of the Steinitz. Like, if I play like this against the lineup of the Steinitz, I will get absolutely eaten alive. This is not gonna be pretty. It's not really drama, Joran. I think they're fine. I don't think there's any actual drama to speak of. The chess.com tweet was, I think, slightly ill-advised, but I think they realized it themselves quite quickly, so... and they did some backtracking quite quickly, so... okay. We're not in the running, but let's try this anyway. And now some kind of g5 happens and I don't know any theory. Yeah. As expected. Not a position you're supposed to play with no increment against somebody with increment and zero knowledge of the intricacies of the position as well, but as mentioned, we like on this stream to leave dangerously. Okay. I'm very surprised by 97. This should not be any good for my opponent normally. Thank you very much for yet another gifted sub, M. Singer. And welcome, no joke chess. Knight g6, but yeah, like we should still be doing very well. Somehow. Kind of want to sacrifice something here, but I don't see what, so I won't. That is quite an annoying little move, because it means that I will have to now demonstrate some boring technique, which I don't have at the best of times. Oof. Yeah, that was very unedifying. Me missing the fact that I couldn't. Okay, that's an improvement in fortunes. Yeah, basically I played king e5 and then I realized after f6 check I will not be able to go king d5 because of bishop b7, bishop takes g2. Yeah, rook e4 was a very strange decision there. Yeah. This is not the best idea in the world. I don't know why I'm doing that. I promised to pay more attention to chat and actually just play normally, and instead I'm doing this every second game. I should just stop. It's not really bringing me any joy. Like, this is a normal position, but probably more than normal. It's a very nice position for us, but considering the fact that we're not really in the running for anything, I should probably just chill. Yeah, there's definitely some links somewhere to the charity thing. It starts in 2 days. It's not on yet, but it starts in 2 days. There should be mate here. I'll be very annoyed if there's no mate here. No, I don't think this is Hodgson. I think this is probably Keith Arkle or somebody like that. If this is not mate, I will be sorely disappointed, but I think it is. What? Okay. So what's happening with the standings? Ginger? Oh no, Ginger is 8 points behind with only 12 minutes to go. I don't think we're running very many risks here. Attack 2. Attack GM2. Yeah, I actually looked at the... It doesn't say. Maybe it is. Maybe it is, but I have no idea. This is my first Lichess stream ever, Mike Farmer, so that's very easy to answer. Yeah, that probably kind of suggests it is him. Look at that by Davey. Just berserking every game and crushing. That's quite something. That is quite something. Yeah, I don't remember. I actually looked at this at some point and I don't remember anyway. I played this with white. It's not particularly great. It's not unplayable, but it's not particularly great either. Have I just blundered something here? Like BC, BC, Queen B7? Is it just winning now? That will be a bit of a blow to my chances. Don't really want this game to be over before it begins. It's once again probably very strong here, but yeah, I just wanted to sort of bluff David into not doing it. And now I'm not doing so horribly if I don't lose on the spot, which I think I'm no longer likely to do. I go rook c8, knight bd7, and the pieces do start to come out sort of slowly. Knight bd7, I guess he wants to go f4. I still clearly have problems here, but they should be surmountable, if that's the one. Maybe it's not really surmountable. Maybe it's just horrible. I also completely missed that this existed, which is stupid. We'll have to go a5 next move. And then return to d7. f4 is extremely painful on basically every move here. Yeah, this could collapse basically. This could completely collapse on us at any moment. But not if he decides not to crush us, obviously. Like, how are we? Like, we shouldn't have been in this game anymore. And we somehow are. Which is a gift. An undeserved gift here. And now he just goes back. I think trading one pair here would be a mistake. Maybe not. Like, it's not a big deal, but like this position, you could maybe start making an argument we could one day be better. Or maybe not, I don't know. It's very, very solid. I just don't know if we have any prospects at all to play for a win. I'm trying to provoke him a little bit by giving him like rook h1, h4 plans. But that would be like very, very ill-advised for white in this position, because then I get rook b8 and the pawn running there and so on. That would not be a good idea for him. Bishop e4, I think I can play h5 and kind of, you know, play with him a little bit. Maybe taking on e4 and rook h8 was smarter. The thing is, after rook h1, I mean, it's such a beautiful position for me, but I suspect I'm just not getting anywhere. I suspect it's still just equal. There's just no way to make progress if he goes rook h1. It's a decision that is not very easy to make, I suspect, but it's a decision that, like, if he does make it, how am I ever making any progress whatsoever. He can still go rook h1 even here. Yeah, I was wondering about that. I think what I'm doing here is I'm playing to lose more than I'm playing to win, but like you have to at some point start, respecting the tournament you're playing. King d2. I blundered king d2. Oof. Yeah. This is very annoying. This is very, very annoying. Why did I play e4? Like, none of this makes any sense whatsoever. I could have just kept my shape there. I didn't need to react whatsoever. This is some kind of bizarro world. Yeah, okay. We shouldn't be unhappy with this result, but this wasn't a well-played game. Yeah, knight d3 is a nice save, but I didn't need to include e4. There was no threat of king e1, so I could have made any move in that position. Ah, yeah, so just streaking. Yeah, I should have been... Yeah, I lost the streak at some point, and that did me in. Yeah, just some unnecessary losses in the middle. I've allowed Firouzja's thing there. He could have played knight e4 there, as Alireza has done, but decided not to. Once again, I'm playing a line which I suspect my opponent knows significantly better than I do. I don't know why I keep on doing this to myself. Positive mental attitude stream, exactly. PMA FTW. Thank you very much for the bits, Rosa Melter. I don't know why I cut it off there. Is it that low? Let me see what I can do about that. Is this better? This should be better. It's actually lowered. It's I can go even lower, but it's pretty low as is. And also, obviously, bringing the mic in closer is an improvement, but then it kind of is in my view. King h8 is a curious little move. I don't know what I think about that. Like, I suspect it's not great, but I also am not sure why. So let's just make a random reply and see what happens. Kind of trying to open diagonals for my bishops, but what I'm doing here is not very critical. What this does achieve for me is I've stopped the rooks from doubling on the f-file, which is somewhat valuable for white here, because you, for instance, now something like takes, and rook f1 would assume complete control over the f-file, and we want complete control over the f-file here for sure. Rook e8 is fine, but yeah, let's do that thing that I was talking about and then go from there. Maybe that was unnecessary. Maybe I could have done this smarter. If I can get the bishop over to e6, I'll be quite happy, but probably it's not that possible. Don't think I like bishop g7. I think it looks a bit artificial to me. Now he can go b6, and I actually have a kind of a cute idea of bishop b6, rook f7, but it doesn't work. So the bishop will have to go back to, I don't know, e3 or probably e3 if it doesn't lose any material. But it kind of does, so let's go to f2. No, this is very, very explicitly not the Mr. Dodgy Invitational. It says so in the tweet, right? Yeah, the issue with bishop f2 is that he can actually take on b2 here. This is why I wanted the bishop on e3, but there was a different tactical problem with that move. Yeah, I'm not playing this in the most precise fashion ever, but we're still definitely pressing a little bit because of how unsafe the black king is in these types of positions. But I've had more in this game for sure. I have definitely had more in this game at some point. Also, the bugs are really driving me very, very insane. It's really not the time of the year yet in St. Petersburg for there to be so unbelievably full of bugs. Yeah, that's not a properly constructed English sentence either. Just GH is fine. Queen C2 I'm kind of okay with, because I don't think it creates enough threats. But GH is just completely fine, I'm sure. Like I'm not really better. Yeah, this I was kind of welcoming because I thought it will create a situation where it will be harder for my opponent to make good moves. And yeah, I don't think he should be going for my queen side in this position because he gets mated faster than I get mated pretty much always. Although, like, currently he isn't getting mated just yet, which is a little bit annoying. Doesn't seem fair that there's no mate. Doesn't seem fair. Let's give him the option to go queen e4 check, which, well, I just completely missed queen g6. That wasn't my intention to give him that option. I'll be honest with you guys. I might be worse now. That would be one for the books here if I actually end up losing this game after bishop f6. Or this. Yeah, that's quite spectacularly misplayed by me. Now queen h7 probably is mate. Yeah. That is quite spectacularly horrible by me. I mean, we're winning on time, but I really lost track in this game. Queen h5. Can we actually? I can show you that at least because I could play queen h5. Yeah, that's quite something. I was kind of losing my mind by that point. Yeah, knight f2 in the end. Yeah, that's correct, Sleepy. I saw that and then I forgot because people kind of where are the games? Yeah, like if we look at this, like this position, I'm very, very certain is quite pleasantly better for white, and I think taking on f5 is probably not great. Probably I should play something like queen d3, force him to take on our terms, and then start invading on the light squares. And if we go all the way back, I mean, obviously in this position, I have all kinds of very safe moves, but I was trying to make a move he was not expecting. And yeah, king g4, queen g6. I'm already in trouble, and here, yeah, I saw queen h7 check, but it was kind of too late to turn back. And if we play queen h5 here, he gives the check, we have to go here. And the f6 square is occupied, but the f2 square isn't, and then we just drop the queen. After king g4, there's actually, as far as I could tell, the reason I did play it is that if he goes, why can't I? There should be a button to be able to analyze. Yeah, the magnifying glass, yeah. If he goes knight f6 check here, we go forward. And if he checks me from here, I can run towards those squares. And if he checks me from here, I can run here. So actually there might not be mate, as far as, at least, you know, on very, very short time. I thought we aren't actually getting mated by fours, but we've obviously screwed up our position incredibly. This is bad, bad. Should not be anywhere near this. Thanks for the follows. I can hear the binging in my ear. Top right button will tell you if it's mate. Maybe, but not gonna bother with that. And once again, this is the final results with. I think before that streak started, we were sort of on equal terms with David, and then he went on a bit of a tear, and we didn't. So deservedly won by David, and it was very, very difficult to lose the second place. But in the end, there was almost no fight whatsoever for the first. And that, ladies and gentlemen,